Good evening and welcome to CUTV News. We are here live from the Students' Union discussing the latest news that affects you, the students. Today we will be discussing in a Vox Pop all about information that could be leaked and stories being heard by US government. But first we'll be going over to Helena, who will be discussing
Black History Month.
Black History Month. Thank you.
So October marks Black History Month, and this has been going on all across the universities in the UK, and of course Cardiff Students' Union, together with the African Caribbean Society, bring a lot of events here at the university. So have a look. Last Wednesday we had the great debate tour. Have a look at the video.
Good evening, my name is Femi Aoyemi and I'm the Great Debate Tour Project Manager, and today we are at Cardiff University, which is the 6th tour out of 51 tour dates. The Great Debate Tour started in 2010 with only 15 dates and has grown to become one of the largest UK's debate tours on UK universities. Some of the things that we talk about is issues which affect students across the UK. So some of the topics that we have been discussing is such things like immigration, integration, voter registration as well, enterprise, so things which relate to students across campuses.
Why would you lower the voting age to 16 when less than 50% of 18 to 24 don't even vote anyway? I think it's the wrong way around. It's a kind of cop-out, easy way to say we're appealing to young people without actually having to appeal to young people or actually do the hard work, to be engaged in issues that young people are interested in, to actually rethink your party politics, to rethink your issues, to get to know your constituency. That's what needs to be done. Engagement with young people. Young people need to find politics engaging before they're going to vote. So it's much more important. It's difficult, but it's more important to actually engage with young people than it is to lower the voting age. Lowering the voting age is too easy, and they haven't shown any willingness to kind of change their political party politics or their engagement methods to make sure that 16-year-olds will vote and be engaged anyway.
With the debate, we're trying to ensure that it's not just people attending to debate, it's also something where you learn from as well. So everyone who comes to the debate learns a little about various different issues as well and learns how to engage with it as well.
So with us today we have Timothy and Kemi, the President and Vice President of the African Caribbean Society, to tell us a little bit more about the Black Month history. Hello guys.
Hi.
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good.
So if you can explain to us what's the Black Month history all about?
Well, Black History Month is something that started around about 1926. It's basically a month where Black people get together to celebrate and commemorate Black culture, but at the same time, we put it on show, and at the same time learn about other people's culture. It's a time for cultures to get together, mingle, mix, and learn about each other. So it's bringing different ethnicities together in one month, every October, and you get together and you mix.
Yeah, basically we just celebrate who we are and put it out there for people to learn more about us, and every year people learn more about us, and they all the stereotypes that about Black people are broken every year because people learn more about Black people.
But it's not just about Black. It's not about just African people. That's the name, but there's also about Asian and other minorities, right?
It's about
Yes.
Asians, other minorities, basically about minorities, and it's any culture that people need to learn about. And
Yes.
basically, people get uncomfortable with certain things, and in this month, people get to learn that certain things are not uncomfortable. You can say certain things, and
So now that you're talking about uncomfortable, I mean, there's Black History Month. Black is the main word there. And it's a word that can be very offensive for a lot of people, a lot of Black people. Why this choice?
well, See, it's about how people feel. They feel very uncomfortable. I think when you hear the word black, it feels uncomfortable. If you're not black, it might feel uncomfortable to you for you to say it, thinking, oh, maybe I might be racist or not. But see, when you put it out there as Black History Month, it becomes comfortable to know that it is okay.
And it's official.
It's let's move past what it used to be and how it used to mean whatever. We move past it where it's a new generation.
Yeah, exactly, because that's what the month's all about, like showcasing who we are and opening up basically so everyone can get to learn about us. So there's no need to hide or use a different name, because that's what we are and we're proud of it. So no one should feel uncomfortable. They should just say the word black.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically raising the stereotype of the word
Yeah.
and the negative meaning of it.
Yeah.
That's great. So is this the first time we are having this in Cardiff University?
Well, no.
No.
Well, we've been the African Caribbean Society (ACS). We've been celebrating Black History Month from the beginning, because it's not just in the university. It's all over the UK,
Yes.
and they have a similar one in USA, but that's in February. So like, yeah, but like this is the first time the student union, and we're very grateful, is getting involved
Mhm.
and like backing us up. So all our events, literally Roots on Saturday, we did that last year too, but because the student union is involved, is now on a bigger scale, and like everyone's involved and everyone's knowing about it. Like I even spoke to people like, oh, I was there last year. I was like, yeah.
So you would say this year is reaching more students, more
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So we had a great debate tour, as we saw in the video, but there's more events coming on. You spoke about Roots as well. Any other events?
Well, yes. The Great Debate, first of all, was a tour it is a tour that goes around the UK, tackling important points that affect people in the UK, especially immigrants. But it does affect everyone across the border, and it was a great debate. And now this week, at the end of this week, Saturday, we have an event called Roots. It is a performance-based show that showcases talent, and featuring an open mic segment at the end.
And that's organized by you guys.
Yeah, by the
So students
Yeah.
and for community.
Yeah.
Students.
yeah, but like the public is welcome to
Yeah,
attend
Of
the
course.
event, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just for students, it's open for anyone.
So attend.
Can you tell us location, time, tickets?
Okay, for Roots, it's going to be on the first floor of the Student Union. It's CF10. And yeah, to get your tickets, you have to log into the Student Union page or what website.
So it's
And then-
online?
Yeah, it's online.
Okay.
And then go to what's on, and then the events are there. It's on the 26th, that is Saturday. And then you can buy your ticket. If you're a student, just log in. But if you're not a student of Cardiff University, then you have to create an account. But that's fine. Like the account is not just for Roots. It's like it will allow you to buy tickets for any other show that the student unions put on. So,
And if people missed online,
yeah, they can purchase tickets at the door, but it will be more expensive. It will be £7,
A little bit more
but it's £5 online now. So buy your tickets now.
okay. So no reason to miss it, really. What else can people look at? What other events apart from Roots?
There is another comedy event. It's called Love Comedy Hate Racism. It is mainly organized by the Students' Union.
Mhm.
It involves quite a few big names in comedy. And
Okay.
£1 of the ticket sales will go to Show Racism the Red Card.
Okay.
Football charity.
So there's also charity going on
Yeah.
with all these things. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. That was
Thank you.
very great. And now back to Jazz.
Thank you very much. And we should also point out that if you do want to get involved, or if you have any comments to make on that interview, or if you have any questions for either, then all you have to do is tweet us. It is at Cardiff Union TV, #CUTV News. But now we are going to be looking at the story on US spying claims. Now, on Monday, French papers made further revelations on information leaked and, well, maintained by the National Security Agency, the NSA. The NSA is the main producer and manager of signal intelligence in the United States, and it's the largest of its kind. Now, the NSA is actually allowed to bug phones and listen to conversations and record them for their own intelligence. And it's a well-known fact that in America, all citizens' phones are recorded. But the massive controversy that's come this week is that the documents that were released by Edward Snowden, a former consultant of the agency, has basically become known that not only are the US government watching what US citizens are saying and recording conversations, but a lot of French conversations are being recorded, as well as a lot of countries in the EU, especially affecting us in the UK. So Snowden believed that he had a right and a sense of responsibility to produce the information and make everybody aware of what the agency is doing. However, we wanted to know what you thought and whether that he did have a sense to tell us, and whether us knowing this information will make any differences. So we went out and we wanted to hear what the student population felt. Have a look at this.
Okay, so how do you feel about the idea of your text messages, phone calls, online behaviour being tracked by the US government?
I'm not overly happy about it, I've got to be honest. I mean, I was aware of a lot of sort of outward spying that was carried out by the US government, you know, from times of sort of the Cold War onwards. But I was shocked at the extent to which it was actually carried out internally as well, and obviously more so that another country that are supposed to be a country that we have a special relationship with are allowed to spy on us in the way that they are.
I totally disagree with it. I mean, it's about privacy. Like, you can't just delve into people's lives like that.
Do you think it's a good thing that we know about it and like that we know that it's happening, or do you think that information should have stayed hidden?
I think people need to be aware of it. But then I can also understand, you know, why the US want to do that. It's a lot easier to do things and monitor, you know, terrorism or stuff like that, I suppose. But yeah, I think it's morally wrong.
I actually really wouldn't want my text messages monitored at all, because, well, what would they really get out of it? Because half the text messages people send to one another really aren't that interesting, unless they're really trying to catch someone out. There really isn't much point in monitoring them.
Well, obviously it's a breach of privacy, so nobody wants their personal text messages or calls being monitored and being heard to. So it's uncomfortable, it's a breach of personal space, and it's obviously violating human rights. So it should not be done at all.
Okay, and do you think it's a good thing that we know that this is happening, or do you think it would be better if we just remained oblivious to it?
Well, ignorance is bliss, but it is better that we know, so now we're aware of it, and we know that the government is up to a lot more than what they're actually telling us. So it's always good.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing we know, but now I do know I'm definitely going to be more careful about, be more careful about what I write, and sort of maybe watch my step a bit more in text messages.
So we should add in at this point that it's unclear how the information is actually being stored. However, the main reasons that they're recording conversations, they're picking up on keywords or phrases. But that could be anything. We don't know what these words or phrases are, and we don't know what the recordings are being held for.
Yeah,
so
and we don't know really the aim of those records anyway.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
So how would you feel if you knew that your phone calls were being recorded and maybe being used in America for any reason?
Well, I wouldn't feel very comfortable.
No.
I mean, it's your phone calls. It doesn't really matter if you're talking about where and with whom you're having lunch, or if something more private. It's just it is your phone calls. It's not something public.
Yeah.
Same with email. Same with anything that you're not aware that might be recorded.
And it is online as well, of course. I mean,
and then that's the thing. Like, if it goes to the public domain, it's even worse, because you know anybody can have access to that.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I would hope that the US government main aims are to hopefully track any terrorism or maybe government schemes which they shouldn't know about, and that could be the main reason. But I mean, it really is any everyday people, like students could be being listened to. It's not just business owners, it's not just governments, it's not just big corporations that they want to get information from.
And sometimes you might say something and it misunderstood. So
yeah,
it's not like you can get in trouble because of something you said that wasn't even, It wasn't even something for real.
I mean, the key point of this is it is affecting your privacy. I mean, in France, over a 30-day period, sometime between December and January of last year, 70.3 million phone calls were recorded.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of phone calls. I mean, we don't know what's being discussed. We don't know who it is. I mean, it could be any number of the population. And what are the US government doing, or this corporation doing with the phone calls? That's what really need to know.
And there were things like, what does the US have to do with like any of the other countries? Why is it going on in Europe? I mean, it's not even your own government doing it.
No, I mean, it's a known fact that this they record all US citizens, which is fair enough. They can keep an eye if they want to. But why has it gone that little bit further? Now, since this information has been released, do you think that there was a need for it? Do you think that we're going to benefit from knowing this information?
I don't really think so. What do you think? Because I don't really think so.
I mean, I would have thought that the whole point, if they wanted to hear covertly what people are saying, that making it common knowledge and letting everybody know about it defeats the object. Because obviously, if they did want to catch out terrorism or get wind of any plans, then now they're going to know that they're listening in. So it's going to make it another. You see what I'm saying?
If people start getting aware, then they know that's one less thing. Like,
if you know that there's a potential that people are listening to your phone calls, then there are numerous other ways that they could
somehow it's
helping
them to cover up and get more sophisticated in what they do.
So it's an interesting story. We're going to be following a lot as more revelations come out. And if you do have anything to say or anything to add, if you think maybe your phone has been hacked and people have been listening to you, or you have any outrage on this, then make sure you get in touch with us.
Or you know someone.
Or you do know somebody, I mean, it's very close to the Leveson. It's looking at privacy issues. So maybe you have something that you want to add or get in touch. Well, you can tweet us or get on Facebook. If you do want to tweet us with anything, then it's at Cardiff Union TV, #CUTV News.
That was all from us tonight. Don't forget, if you want to get involved, if you want to report to us, you also can email us at news@cardiffunion.tv, and don't forget the hashtag on Twitter.